here we go. So I have been working on a game in GDevelop. I'll show you in a second. I gotta get some things going here. It's been a while since I've streamed. I'm just kind of doing this to relax. Everything's all up and stuff. So, alright. And there's that. Pull that up. Alright, there we go. Been a minute. Now I was working on this morning, so I've kind of got a little bit of a project going here. Zoom out. It was zoomed in for the thing. So it's a game engine I've used before. It's not a big game engine. It's kind of a small game engine. Um, and no, it's enough to get by. But they added 3D lately, so I've been playing around with that. I started playing around with 2.5D, um, but just working around with it, I've decided to switch to like voxels and stuff. Yeah, the whole thing is I'm just trying to build out a prototype here. I'm not really trying to be like, oh, I'm gonna make a big game or anything. I'm just having fun playing around, seeing what I can do. Pull up preview here. Usually loads on my other screen. I'll have to drag it over. So this is what I kind of got so far. It's a mess, and all my not really code, but that's a mess too. Um, I just switched this to 3D, and that doesn't really hit the grass there. But today I'm just gonna kind of focus on assets, start filling out the world. I'll worry about attack and stuff like that later. I was having some layering issues over here. Um, the original 2.5D stuff is still in there. It's trees, billboard towards you. They're a little bit off. The zombie dude here walks by and stuff. So I've gotten some stuff figured out, and going back to the drawing board, I'm gonna make kind of everything voxels, and that way I can make it a little more granular where I need to, while still maintaining something super simple. Um, okay. But yeah, there's not much here for that. Uh, yeah, so I'm just gonna get to her here. Close that out. A lot of this is just gonna be a lot of copying and pasting for now. Okay. Think I got everything. It's been warm. Well, it's been a warm fall. Not really enjoying that. It'd be nice to have some cool before it gets cold. Um, yeah, right now these houses are made of boxes and stuff. I'm probably actually gonna make them full voxel. I'm gonna delete some of this stuff and replace them with the voxel trees I got here. Uh, Setup's not the greatest here. I don't have a desk really. I'm probably giving my computer a workout by trying to do this and stream at the same time, but we'll see how it works out. All right, start pulling these through. Yeah, my computer's lagging a little bit. Not a big fan of the streaming and going at the same time. Computer isn't. Well, I was hoping this would work because really all I wanted was to keep a record, but I suppose I can record. um, record it instead of streaming it. It's just a little bit easier to stream, and plus, if you know somebody wants to come by and see it while I'm doing it, that's pretty cool too. Cool technology and all. Mm, that's right. Camera kind of goes over the top. I don't think that one's quite aligned right there. There. Yeah, this software here really isn't set up for 3D very well. Something like Unity or um, Unity or Godot would probably be a lot better. Um, but I like seeing what this little engine can do. It's kind of neat with the way it does events and programming and stuff. Um, I'll pull that up. It's a mess right now, but you don't really code. You just kind of set a bunch of triggers and stuff, and it allows you to kind of put something together. I mean, there's you can code a little bit with JavaScript, but you'd have to be a little more in depth. I don't know. I might get into that, but I'm just kind of doing this as a hobby anyway. So no reason to take it super seriously. We're getting a little better now. My computer must be settling down as far as whatever was going on. Whatever was going on. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna get the trees wrapped around here. I think I don't necessarily have to take everything out that I've done so far. Trees up around here and start working on these buildings. So they're, like I said, they're boxes, but since I'm kind of switching to a voxel, I'm gonna measure them out, do each wall individually. There's some issues with the way it's being done right now. Mainly that the detail isn't there, or, it's harder to get detail on it. We'll keep. There's a lot to work through. Primarily, what I'm working on now is just camera stuff and how it all flows together. Anyway, and I might do a few things off camera. There's some things that I have to take a little time to, you know, not spend a bunch of time just kind of looking things up and stuff because I don't really know terrible much about the engine, but I like the challenge and I like to learn. It has some pretty neat stuff for 2D. I've made a couple prototypes in one game in 2D. Um, I can get a bit unwieldy. They've added a lot of things over time that make it a lot better. You can add folders and stuff to manage your assets and stuff, which used to be a really big issue. So you could only, well, you couldn't only, but it really worked better for smaller games. Not anything super ambitious, because it got to be really difficult to manage all the different things you need to manage, all the assets and all the scenes and stuff you got to manage for a larger scale game. So folders really, really help keep things organized, and that's a big thing. So the ground underneath is actually a 3D box, and it has a tile map on the top of it, so it'll be able to be edited. Um, oh, what was I doing? Duplicate. It'll be able to be edited to add minor changes and stuff. Um, I have the skybox kind of in place. Not quite sure how I'm gonna handle that yet completely. Um, it's in a pretty rough shape. Um, but since I'm working on graphics and visuals more so than combat and stuff right now, uh, it'll be it'll be sooner rather than later before I figure out what I want to do with it. And not that I'm trying to make it, polished right out the gate. That's, prototyping. You just want to get something on in action and on paper before you spend too much time on something. Something that's not going to work, because that happens a lot too. You have ideas, you put some time into it, and it just doesn't work. Either it's not fun, or it's going to be too hard to implement, or something along those lines. And sometimes things just don't work. um, Especially if you tend to do things, solo by yourself, then it kind of limits what you can do, and it takes a bit to learn, your limitations and stuff, but it's well worth it. Yeah. One second. Oh, and the brother doing duct tape. Yeah, duct tape does fix everything, doesn't it? Part of the issue might have been that I'm looking down and not directly at the microphone. Um, Mainly because, like I said, I don't have a great setup. Um, I could prop my screen. I'm using a drawing tablet for my second screen, and I might be able to prop it up because I'm using a mouse anyway. But I don't know. It might sound better if I'm talking directly at the mic instead of, my feet. Um, I was doing some testing and I don't know quite what to do about. Yeah, I tend to trail off on words. And my mic setup, I've played around with it. Whatever I do, it just kind of stutters out. So I might have to go back and restructure that. I'm using some settings that were suggested, and well, you know how that goes sometimes. And sometimes it just doesn't work. But duct tape does fix everything. Not really, but it'll get you by. Okay, so I got those up. Now I'm debating on whether to do fences or to do other thing. Let's take a look at how it is here first. Well, that looks kind of nice. All the colors are off because I imported into Magica Voxel. And then I have these 8x8 graphics that I was using with some larger 16x16 graphics. Um, and I imported it, so I lost some of its colors. I got to do palette. Ooh, that's very smooth. I do want to put some like fog in the back, but I don't know. I don't know if this engine can necessarily handle that. Um, but I guess I'll see. Uh, well, I do have my I do have my gaming headphones. Uh, but I also have a really nice mic. I want to get this mic to work because it's I got it so I could do my reading and stuff too that I'm doing elsewhere. Um, and if I could get it to work, I'd prefer to get it to work. But if it's not going to work, then it's not going to work. I think it largely has to do with my settings, honestly, because I followed a thing and I really don't know anything about how audio actually works and where the settings should be. So probably could have left it at default. But oh, the zombie's getting me. I don't actually have a way to take the zombie out quite yet. Um, apologize for just sitting there. I had a message. Um, yeah, I had a different attack. I had a 2D attack thing, but it didn't interact with the 3D objects that I was placing down because I have 3D grass now. Darth Vader. Well, I did put the bass up, but it didn't sound quite as bassy as you're making it sound on my headphones. So maybe just turning down the bass a bit. But it's actually the mids and the highs that cut out. And like I said, I do it a lot when I drag out a word, it just cannot handle that. It just kind of goes. So I'll have to check it out afterwards. But I appreciate your input there. And yeah, if it sounds pretty good is all right for uh, early stream or whatever. Well, if I'm getting back into this, I know my surroundings are great. I don't have a dedicated place to stream or set up. I'm just kind of using my setup for my other recording stuff. Okay. Well, now I laid those trees, I actually got to do something else. Should I do fence posts or should I do buildings? I think general scenery, I think, is kind of important. Um, but let's see here. That I can delete and just do a little cleanup here while I'm thinking of what to do. Because I kind of got this map set up with different areas. There's the main village area, and then one second. Down over here, this part that's surrounded by flowers right here. This is going to be the tutorial area. There's going to be some more houses up here, and then there's three ways out of this area that will three ways out of the area that'll lead to different areas. But I want to get the starter area all set up, and I can do all my testing here, get it to look nice before I start even considering building out the rest of the world. I kind of have a rough idea of the different buildings I want. I don't want that one. You want to delete that one. Oh, don't want to do that. All this stuff I put in. Oh, it's worth it. That's one of the things about this editor. It is extremely tedious to change things or put a lot of detail in. Especially for 3D. It really was never, or I shouldn't say never. Originally, way back in the day, they were aiming for 3D, but I don't think he could quite get it. And then somebody came along and made a 3D extension for it because different people can make extensions and um, that help you do just random things. Like my camera is completely controlled. Somebody wrote an extension for that, so I don't have to uh, worry about how to set up the camera. A lot of what I'm working with the visual, all that other stuff. Um, it's mainly how to utilize the camera, and while it looks good, and then one of the big things which I can show you here is when you go in buildings. Um, so to not have your view blocked. So like, oh, I can walk through the building right now too, but to not have your view blocked to hide those and stuff. So that's something I had to figure out. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to solve the issue because I don't want people to, just be able to look inside buildings or like say you're in a dungeon next to the wall and oh, let's get a kind of a peek at what's inside. Not that you can see terrible much unless you're kind of like that. Then you can get a good view of what's inside. And I'm gonna have to create some sort of masking to handle that sort of thing. But yeah, that'll be a bit. Oh, I can't even interact with you. You're just gonna push me around. Just gonna push me around. Oh yeah, he's not even on the right layer anymore. Okay, close that out. Oh, that wasn't even on stream. I got two screens here. It starts up on the other screen. I got to pull that up again and I'll show you. Show you what I was talking about. Oh, goofy me. Silly me. All right. Here we go. Building. So, yeah. makes the walls disappear if they're in the way of the camera. Um, and yeah, like I was saying, it needs to be masked off, but I'll have to do that and manage that at another time. Oh yeah, I gotta have to remember to do things on the right screen though. It always pops up. I wish I could have that pop up directly on here. I wonder if there's a setting here. I'm not gonna mess with it now, but I might mess with it later. Okay, so fences are going to be all right. Yeah, I'm gonna do fences. So we'll pull up Magic of Voxel here and show you how I'm getting these over to getting these over to um oh geez, can't talk. 8 by 8 by 8 because um the graphics I'm using or were originally using the pixel art is all 8 by 8. It should lead to faster, development or whatever. The more detail you put into things, the longer time it takes, and the longer time it takes, the nicer it looks. But um, the whole thing I want to do is just to be able to, after I get going, to be able to iterate fast. It's one of the things I always wondered. They have grand adventures or whatnot, but and I guess the cinematic, people may not want to spend years playing a game, but if the game keeps adding stuff or grows or content, I've always kind of thought that would be neat. And there's a little bit of, fan games and stuff that do extend it. And so, there's people out there that do like the idea. Um so get this fence post to work here, it's gonna have to be a 4 by 4. Make sure I'm centered. So this side. And it doesn't have to be quite as tall as the player. That's kind of an ugly brown. That's all right. Uh, I probably don't need to fill it because that adds a lot of extra vertices, but until it becomes a problem, it's a little bit easier just to fill it all in. Oh, I forgot to count how high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is actually a beefy. Looking at it, if I remember right, that's just as wide as the player is. So maybe not. So I know what I'll do. We're gonna make it a 2 by 2 post. And then we'll just run on one side. Okay, kind of like that. It doesn't add any depth to it, and it doesn't actually look that good. But we'll see. And I'll have to make end posts and all that other stuff. For now, I just kind of want to see how this works or looks. Um, They'll be quite long posts there. Or if I just want to do, and I just want to check something, see if it looks nicer. Those are some beefy fence posts. Can you make me make a banana hat that gives your character boost and evasion? Yes, I could actually. That's that's something I plan on doing later. So the characters themselves, as you notice, my character doesn't have any arms and stuff. Um, the equipment that you put on will go over the character, and I believe that's called like paper dolling or whatever. It used to be with 2D and stuff. I don't know really what is called, I want to attach what is called with 3D. But yeah, the first one's going to be a wizard hat though, because that's the thing I was testing in the last 2D game I was kind of prototyping, playing around with. That one was in Godot engine though, and while I like Godot engine and it's really well put together and there's a lot you can do with it, one of the reasons I don't get into it much is because there's a lot of setup to it, and then there's a lot of coding where even though it's probably not the best code, this hi kitty, while it's not the best, probably the best code. No, don't scratch the code. It does it does work. Um, just probably not the most streamlined thing. Banana hat that gives boost in evasion. That's actually a pretty good idea. I'm gonna put that in my notes. Um, though equipment is quite a ways off. I am working on environment, and then it'll be NPCs. Then I'll get to the combat, and then it'll be inventory items. So that's like the last thing on the list of things to do, honestly. Unfortunately, but you have to make it work first and look good. Okay, so back to the fence post here. All right, so I got Blender kind of set up. I don't know much about Blender. I've animated things in it before, but it's such a deep program. Every time I try and do something in 3D, I always forget to do it. But I did get the Vox importer, so um, new folder. Let's go with. Yeah, I was hoping that wouldn't end up on that screen. I thought I moved it over here. All right. Stupid Windows always trying to dox me. Okay. Okie dokie. So a folder fence. That's what I was doing. Oh, it's going all right. How are you doing? Well, it's been a while since I've streamed. If the audio's off a little bit, I apologize about that, but I'm just having a little fun. That's good. That's good to hear. Okay. So now I need Blender. Get rid of that for now. Don't need that, and I don't need that. Import. Where did I have them again? Oh, hey, kitty, stop scratching that. I won't. Not select that, just that. All right. All right. That should be good to export into. Well, I'm just kind of playing around. Actually, not playing around. I'm prototyping kind of an adventure game inspired by Zelda, like probably like a bunch of other stuff. But I'm it's in 3D and G develop. Oh, 1 second here. Let me get this exported, and then I'll catch myself again here. Do, do, do. Going through files. Okay, there. Now we're back. All right. So I'm just kind of prototyping for a game that's well, at its smallest level, it's a Zelda inspired adventure game, and also inspired by Diablo for loot and stuff. So just really trying to simplify everything that way. The goal right now is just kind of prototype and have fun with it and go wherever it takes me, really. Obviously, I can draw inspiration from things, but as it goes and as I play around with it, see where it's going, it'll probably change over time. I'm really just kind of taking a look at what this engine can do with 3D, basic 3D, and playing around with it. Yeah, like a Zelda Diablo looter sort of thing. So the um, ultimate goal, if I get there, is that uh, like all the hearts and abilities and stuff are attached to equipment and stuff. So you find semi randomized, not completely randomized. Everything wants to be, I want everything to be simple. So, like, you can get wizard hats and shoot fireballs and stuff like that. Um, the spin attack attached to certain swords, or like a dash attack with certain equipment and stuff like that. Just just try and keep everything super simplified. I haven't really fleshed a lot of that out. It's the inspiration for where I'm going with it, but there's a lot of work to get there. Well, I thought so too. Thank you. Hopefully I get to a point where I can start working on that in depth sort of stuff. Um, all right, have to add a fence. 3D. No, geez, there's a whole lot of stuff going on outside. Hey, I think I need that -90. They import a little weird from Blender to here, but I'm kind of figuring things out. Okay, suppose I could name it in there, but well, that is rotated funny. Okay, well, that brought it up out of the ground. Uh, Z, no. Hmm? Yeah, there it is. All right, so I kind of had it wrong in here. This needs to be 90, and this can be 0. That can be 0 too. Oh, that sounds pretty cool. Um, so you make music for fun then? I've never quite understood what a MIDI is. Like, you can um you can kind of put different sort of sounds on it, and then attach it to that. Or it's been a while since I've even heard the term. Honestly, how does it all work? Hello, Aaron TV. No, don't want to go. Well, it's just beginning. Still kind of learning and well, misbehaving now again, but still kind of learning and just having fun with it. Not trying to put too much pressure on myself. It's something I do outside of work and want to make sure it stays fun. Just kind of laying out the groundwork and stuff right now. Getting some basic assets in. I'm not worrying too much about how they look or anything. All right, see how those fences look. All right. No, and they're all laying down. They looked right. Yeah, that. Oh no, they're not laying down. I know what's wrong. They're in the wrong layer. All right. Well, they need to be that layer. First game for 3 years. Yeah, no, it takes time to get stuff done, but you know, there's a lot to learn, especially when you're trying to do it yourself or whatever. I don't know if you're working with a team or not. Oh, no, not what I want to do. Oh, kitty. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that sounds like a bit of a thing. I mean, that's pretty close to what I got. I'm moving away from 2.5D to oddly voxel stylized um version of 2.5D, mainly because I'm having issues with the hitboxes in this engine, but um oh. Yeah, I suppose. I don't know if I'll be able to pull it up quite. I'll look at it later here. I don't know if you can send me a message. It's been a while since I've used Twitch. I don't know all this whole interaction or not interaction, how messaging and stuff works here. And I got a cat trying to climb on my legs. I think you need to go back to your room here, little one. Ah. All right, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Now let's see if I got all these in the right layer again. Walls. Preview. All right. Yeah, that's better. You can tell that it has light stuff on it. And they don't look too bad. Zombie just walking through everything. Okay. So do you use gdevelop as well, or are you using a different engine? No, I guess I'm not even sure if you're still here. All right. Well, fences work. I need, oh, I gotta write notes down. I need corner fences, I need end fences. Gates, which, I'll do that a certain way. I'll have to think about gates because I want them to open and close and such. Now I can just have end fences left and right because it is the one way corner fences. Um, then I could start working on. Oh, I know the other thing I wanted to do. I wanted to see what those flowers look like raised. I might do that first here because that's pretty quick and simple to do. So I'm gonna save that. And we're gonna start a new thing. Okay, then I think it's 8 by 8 by 1 that I want. No, that's 81. One. There we go. Okay, now I just gotta figure out where I put it. I have a lot of assets that I've made over the years. I'm not sure where I packed everything away anymore. I think the last time I was in working in this asset pack was a little over a year ago. Or world class. Yeah, it's in here, I think. Ah, there we go. Well, the neat thing about this is you can just take an image, you can import it as a model. And there we go. I just wanted the flowers raised, so And I might have them lifted up like grass too. I don't know. I just want to see what they look like, or if they look goofy or better. Okay. I got all my file stuff over on my other screen, so it doesn't pop up there. Little blender here. Um, and I'm not saving the Blender files right now because I know I'm gonna do a lot of rework later. I'm just trying to. No. Oh, it is windy out now. Stuff hitting up on the house, giving me a startle. New. That's what I want to do. No. All right. Like that, and light, like that. Light them all. Join, or oh, did I not do that right? There we go. Edit, mesh, clean up, merge by distance. All right. Well, if I didn't do that right, I did right. I can't remember the exact thing. Back into the same place. Trying to keep everything organized. I probably have to go in and organize all my files. Had another point here. Okay. Model. Powers. Hmm. I suppose it's just going to the area of the flowers they are. I want it scaled 1. So imagine I'll just. Oh, that's right. I gotta. Nation should be 90. Oh, that's way smaller. Oh, what's going on there? Scaling should be 1. Okay. Yeah, it's not going to want to snap in the right place, is it? Well, I guess those are the problems you kind of run into. Let's see what it looks like on its own. No, they're in the wrong layer again, too. Ah, there we go. They're nice and bright, too. So yeah, I could probably take those off of the ground there. Maybe. Hmm. No, here comes a zombie again. I don't know if I need to take him out or not. Oh, close that. Hi, Jamie. How are you? Okay. Yeah. Let's make these 4. I know there's a move thing, so we'll move not that axis. Z? There we go. Give them green stems. I'm just picking them a random green. I have to redo the palette here eventually. Oh, Z. Oh, yeah, it's painting the entire Z. Alright. Something like that. Room on that side? Yeah, I should have said. Well, that doesn't look too busy. Mhm. Okay. Delete. Import that. Camera and lighting's already done, so we just need to highlight, merge. Distance, and we can export. Okay, change that. See how that looks. Oh, they are super in the ground. Oh, they're super squished. I know what's going on. Squished little flowers. That should be 4. Oh, no. Control Z, undo. Just delete that. Scale factor 1. Make a little flower patch over here. And I'll have to go pull them up at the tile map at some point here. Reload that, but see how they look. No. Need to have them in the right layer. Which my layers are all messed up right now. Playing around with the camera. Ah, there they go. They look kind of nice. Maybe a little high. I don't need them. They're just about as tall as a fence. Probably a weed at that point. Yeah, so knock them down 1, I think. Okay. Yep, back here. Wonder if I just make it too high. Yeah, I like it. I don't want them to be incredibly distracting. I'm just going to make them too high. Break it down one more. Trace the stuff out. There. That looks fine. And edit mode and M for, oh, or not. Merge by distance. Hopefully that worked. I don't know. Learning, that's what I'm doing. I'm learning, and learning is good. I'm having fun doing it. I wonder if they'll be overly large or squished. No, I left that space over the top of them, so they're. Well, why does that work and it doesn't work where it's left and right, huh? Oh, that's kind of nice. Short little flowers. Probably don't want that many. It's kind of distracting when you get a lot in one place, but have flowers and grass, but it tall grass is kind of ugly right now, and it has all sorts of collision issues. And my attack does too. All right, let's finish out the fences. Working on fences. Oh, well, I was on the other screen again. That's my bad. I'm still getting used to streaming here. I haven't really streamed in a long time, and last time I was streaming, I was doing drawings and stuff, so I was never working on multiple screens. Oh, yeah. Ah, okay, fences. So I got the main line of the fence. I need corners and I need ends. I'm gonna start with the ends here. Just gonna start a new project. I wonder. Yeah, I did save it. Open that. Actually, and ends are gonna be really easy to do. So we just do that. Get into the right file here. That would be a left end. Okay, and then I'm going to make sure I'm on the right color. Make a right end. Just bring these back out and erase the other side. Oh, where's my mouse? Okay. And right. Okay. So now I need the fence corner, and I'm not sure. I'm just gonna do the one, and well, I need to attach and see if that gives me everything I need. I don't know how rotations and stuff are going to work with these not being quite full 8x8 things. Um, could always just make the map out of boxes too. Sounds like a lot of work though. I don't know. It's easier to use tile than paint out the map that way than make each one piece by piece. Well, I did it that way, I wouldn't have to worry too much about snapping. All right, gotta export this one here. Word. Order. Oh. Um, and these are just general assets. I'm doing general. After I'm done with these, this fence here, I'm gonna start looking at doing one of the first buildings here because they're they're not quite set up the way I want them to be, but um, I'll be able to give it a little more uniqueness to the buildings if I build them out in the voxel editor. Okay. Okay. So I need to import. Distance and then export. Oh, I think I did the left side. We'll see how that works. See if I need to make any changes to how that's new object. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. The width is 5. Yeah. See how it works. Oh, it's the right end. Oh, wrong thing. Well, I named that completely wrong. Okay. Okay. I know I could probably just rotate that, but I have said before, I'm not really good with Blender. Um, I'm just kind of using it. I would like to learn more. Eventually, it'd be cool to work with shaders and stuff. Um, but I want to take time to learn that, and that's if I get far and keep up at this. I'm trying, but I'm just mainly doing this for fun and learning and all that good stuff. Join M for merge. Well, it should be that, but I'm gonna add a Y on there. I have to rename this. I can rename it right here. Yeah, I can. There. There we go. But here's the thing. I have to delete it from the resources, otherwise it's just gonna reload what it thinks is that the resources. So let's go check out the resources. All right. And yeah, I'll probably start cleaning up my assets after a bit here. I got to the point where I was kind of happy with the way it moved around and stuff, and so now I'm just kind of on an asset kick and trying to load a bunch of assets in. All right. Oh, came out the same. Hmm. Well, no, that doesn't work. Maybe I'm just backwards here. Yeah, I'm backwards. Oh, because it exported from. Ah. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. I think it's just reloading the file that it thought was left. The one I deleted. Yeah. So it still has it for whatever reason. Um That means I have to go rename it. That'll take 1 second. Yeah, and that's one of the downfalls to working with the online side of things. There we go. Now it works. Oh, scale is all off. Do, 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 do. Okay. Those are looking all right. Okay. Well, I think I'm gonna call it there for the day, actually. Um, Getting pretty tired, and I think it's time for me to start thinking about dinner. So I really wasn't expecting many people to show up, but I'm really appreciative of everybody that did show up. Thank you so much. I'm gonna try and start streaming more, and keep up the habit anyway, and share as this project goes, as it's going along. I probably will do stuff off stream just so I know what I'm doing, because I'm learning, and you know, sitting and watching me struggle, I'm sure isn't the greatest. But I hope you stop by again to have a little chat with me anyway, talk some game dev, and you know, like Aaron TV. I would love to see the projects you got going on. I'm I'm a little nervous being the first time streaming, but I would like to see what you guys going on. I generally enjoy seeing what other people do. So if you stop by again, um, just whatever the best way to share. Like I said, I'm new to this. I don't really know what the best way it is. I'm gonna try and get these videos up on my YouTube channel as well. Minimal editing for now. Um, and yeah, I'll see where it takes me. I hope everybody has a good night.